For decades, Toyota was the one brand Americans trusted with their money. You paid more because you knew it would last. That trust is collapsing right now. Sales are falling, prices have hit record highs, and over 270,000 Tundras have been recalled because their engines are blowing up. Toyota tried to fix it 3 times and still has not solved the problem. Americans are now paying $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 for trucks that might not survive 30,000 miles. So how did the most reliable brand in America lose the one thing that made people pay the premium? Make sure you subscribe, because I cover every recall and every cover-up the dealers do not want you to see. And Toyota is far from the only one. For decades, Toyota sold you one thing above everything else: reliability. That was the pitch, that was the premium, that was the reason you walked past the Ford lot, drove right past the Chevy dealer, and handed Toyota more of your money than you probably should have. And for a long time, you were not wrong for doing that. The old Tundra, the one with the naturally aspirated V8, was a tank. It was not the fastest truck on the road, it was not the fanciest thing sitting in your driveway on a Saturday morning, but it started every single day and it did not blow up on you at a red light. Guys ran those trucks past 300,000 miles without thinking twice about it. That is the kind of reputation that takes decades to build. It is also the kind of reputation that lets you charge whatever you want. And Toyota knows that. The average Tundra buyer right now is paying almost $59,000 at the register. Not the sticker price, that is the actual transaction price after whatever discount the dealer feels generous enough to throw your way. The new 4Runner starts above $42,000, and the loaded trims push well past $65,000. The Sequoia will run you north of $70,000 pretty easily, and the Land Cruiser is sitting right there in the same territory. Toyota has gone all in on being a premium brand. They are charging luxury prices for trucks and SUVs that used to be the working man's reliable daily driver. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with charging more if the product earns it. You pay more, you get more. That is a deal anyone can respect. But what is happening right now at Toyota is the exact opposite. People are paying more and getting less. The sticker prices have gone up, the reliability has gone down, and the gap between what you are paying for and what you are actually getting is wider than it has been in Toyota's entire history. The evidence is piling up in service bays at Toyota dealerships across the country right now. But before I tell you how bad the dealer lots look, you need to hear what happened on the factory floor. In May of 2024, Toyota issued a recall covering over 102,000 Tundra trucks and Lexus LX models. And this was not some minor software update or a loose piece of trim. This was engines dying. Trucks were seizing up on the highway. Owners were losing all power at speed with absolutely no warning. One second you were driving down the interstate in a truck that costs more than some people make in a year, and the next second, the engine locks up and you were sitting in the fast lane with nothing but your hazard lights and a prayer. Toyota's own internal filings showed the scope of the problem. Over 800 warranty claims, more than 160 separate field reports documenting engine failures. And the cause was something that should never happen at a factory with Toyota's quality standards. Metal debris from the machining process was being left inside brand new engines. Tiny shavings from the manufacturing floor were sitting inside these motors from the moment they rolled off the line, grinding away at the internals every single time the truck was started. It is like buying a brand new house and finding out 6 months later that the builder left sawdust and nails inside your plumbing. And every time you turned on the faucet, it was doing a little more damage. It should not happen, and when it does, it means somebody was not doing their job. Toyota said they found the problem at the factory. They said they tightened up the manufacturing process. They told their customers to bring the trucks in and they would replace the engines free of charge. And owners were frustrated, but they were willing to give Toyota the benefit of the doubt. For a while, it actually looked like the story was over. Toyota admitted the mistake, swallowed the cost of engine replacements, and moved on. If that were the only chapter, we would not be having this conversation right now. But it was not. And this is where things start getting really ugly. In November of 2025, Toyota issued a second recall for the same engine on the same truck. Same failure, same metal debris grinding up the same internals. This time, it covered over 126,000 vehicles. Over 113,000 of those were Tundras alone, with the rest being Lexus LX and GX models running the same motor. Think about what that actually means for a second. The manufacturing improvements that Toyota proudly announced after the first recall, the ones they told the press about, the ones they used to reassure their customers that everything was under control. Those improvements did not work. Trucks rolling off the line after the supposed fix were still carrying factory debris inside their engines. That is not a fluke. That is not one bad batch that squeaked through inspection on an off day. That is a systemic manufacturing failure at one of the largest and most respected automakers on the planet. And as of mid-2026, Toyota said they had only completed about 77,000 repairs out of the original 102,000 trucks from the first recall alone. That means nearly a quarter of the trucks from round 1 had not even been touched yet when round 2 dropped. And then, in May of 2026, a third recall hit. Another 43,500 Tundras, model year 2024 trucks that were built with what Toyota specifically described in their federal safety filing as additional controls for removing manufacturing debris. Those additional controls did not control a thing. 360 more warranty claims, 30 more field reports of engines failing, 3 separate recalls now covering over 270,000 vehicles. And the company that told its customers the problem was fixed after round 1 still cannot guarantee it will not happen again after round 3. Can you believe that? And here is where it stops being a number on a federal filing and starts being personal. Because every single one of those 270,000 recalled trucks belongs to somebody who trusted the Toyota name enough to write a very large check. A Tundra owner down in Texas bought a 2024 model, fully loaded, north of $60,000 out the door. The engine blew at 30,000 miles. 30,000 miles on a $60,000 truck that should be good for $300,000. That is like buying a house and the foundation cracking before you finish unpacking. Another owner bought a 2025 TRD Pro, one of the most expensive trims Toyota makes, and the engine failed before it hit 19,000 miles. But the story that really gets to me is a Tundra owner up in Quebec, Canada. He brought his truck in for the first recall, did everything Toyota asked. The dealership pulled the old engine, dropped in a brand new replacement, exactly the way Toyota instructed. 6,200 miles later, that replacement engine seized. The fix was broken. He trusted the recall, trusted the dealer, trusted the brand, and ended up stranded on the side of the road in the exact same truck with a brand new engine that Toyota themselves installed. Imagine going through all of that and then hearing what Toyota's newest solution actually is. Because instead of replacing every recalled engine, Toyota has shifted to a software-based inspection. They hook the truck up to a diagnostic system, run a scan on the internals, and only replace the engines that the software says have enough damage. If the computer says your engine is fine, you drive home and hope for the best. Owners who paid $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 for these trucks are being told that Toyota will check if yours is bad enough. I personally think that is completely unacceptable. If you admitted 3 separate times that you left factory debris inside my engine, I do not want a computer telling me it is probably fine. I want a new engine. Every single one should come out. Telling a customer we will scan it and see is not a fix. It is a gamble with someone else's money.
The sales numbers are starting to reflect the damage. Tundra sales dropped 7.5% in 2025, landing at 147,610 units. Toyota likes to point out that the overall brand still posted a record year in the US, with over 2.1 million vehicles sold. And on paper, that is true. But the headline numbers are hiding some ugly cracks underneath that Toyota would rather you did not look at too closely. March of 2026 was bad. Toyota's overall United States sales fell 8.5% in a single month. The RAV4, which had been their top-selling nameplate for years, collapsed nearly 48% in the first quarter of 2026. Now, that RAV4 number was mostly a production issue. Toyota is retooling their Kentucky factory for a redesigned 2026 model, and they simply do not have enough inventory to fill the lots right now. But the result on the ground is the same. Toyota dealer lots across the country are looking thin. The trucks that are sitting there are the ones people are nervous to buy, and the buyers who would have walked into a Toyota showroom 2 years ago are now walking across the street to look at a Ford or a Chevy. And here is the contrast that should really worry Toyota. While the Tundra is shrinking, the Toyota Tacoma just posted the best sales year of its entire existence. 274,638 Tacomas sold in 2025. That is a 42.4% jump. The Tacoma is outselling the Ford Ranger and the Chevy Colorado combined. And the reason that matters is simple. The Tacoma runs a completely different engine than the Tundra, a turbo four-cylinder that has not had a single comparable engine failure recall. Same company, same logo on the tailgate. One truck sets sales records, the other one sets recall records. If that does not tell you exactly where the problem is, nothing will. And the Tundra is not alone. Toyota's full-size SUV, the Sequoia, runs the same engine family. Sequoia owners have already started reporting hybrid system malfunction warnings, sudden jerking during acceleration, and unexpected loss of power while driving. Some of those trucks got swept into the same recall campaigns as the Tundra, and when you are paying north of $70,000 for a family SUV, the last thing you want to hear is that it shares its engine with the most recalled truck in Toyota's history. Then there is the GR86, Toyota's compact rear-wheel drive sports car. Completely different vehicle, completely different problem, but it paints the same picture. During hard driving and track use, the GR86 can starve its engine of oil and blow the motor. Owners reported catastrophic engine failures, and Toyota initially tried to deny warranty coverage by pointing to social media posts showing the owner driving hard. It took a wave of national press coverage before Toyota quietly reversed course and started covering those engine replacements. And honestly, when I look at the Tundra engine recalls, the Sequoia complaints, and the GR86 warranty fights all happening at the same time, I think Toyota has a quality problem that runs deeper than any single model. This is a company that built its global identity on one promise: their stuff does not break. And right now, that promise is cracking across multiple vehicles on multiple platforms. Meanwhile, the competition is not sitting around waiting for Toyota to figure it out. GM posted record US sales in 2025 with over 2.85 million vehicles sold. The Chevy Silverado alone moved over 577,000 units. Ford's F-Series pushed past 828,000 trucks, their strongest performance since 2019. Nobody is calling GM or Ford perfect, but their customers are not losing sleep wondering if their brand new engine has factory metal sitting inside it waiting to do damage. Right now, that is a competitive advantage that Toyota handed them for free.
But here is the part of this entire story that honestly blows my mind. In December of 2025, Consumer Reports released their annual auto reliability rankings. And guess who came in at number 1? Toyota. The most reliable automobile brand in America, according to Consumer Reports. First time they held that spot since 2022. And you were probably sitting there thinking the exact same thing I was thinking when I read that. How is that even possible? How does a manufacturer with over 270,000 trucks sitting under active recall for engines that literally blow up earn the title of most reliable brand in the entire country? Pay attention to this next detail because it explains everything. Consumer Reports does not count recalls against a brand's reliability score. Their entire system is based on owner survey responses about problems experienced during normal driving. If your truck was recalled, but you brought it in before the engine actually exploded on you, it does not show up as a reliability problem in their data. So Toyota can have 250,000 trucks sitting on a ticking clock and still wear the reliability crown because the methodology does not measure the risk. It only counts complaints from people whose engines already failed. That is not reliability. That is a technicality. And it is exactly the kind of disconnect that makes regular truck buyers feel like nobody in this industry is being straight with them. The survey says Toyota is number 1. The recall notice in your glove box says something very different. And the guys spending their hard-earned money on these trucks every single year are stuck trying to figure out who to believe. The service bays at every Toyota dealer in the country know the real answer, even if the rankings do not. And now a group of Tundra owners has decided they are done waiting for Toyota to sort this out. A class action lawsuit was filed in federal court in Vermont in December of 2024. The plaintiffs argue that the recall does not go far enough. They say entire model years were left off the list. They say hybrid Tundras were excluded even though they share the same engine architecture, and they say Toyota knew about the debris problem longer than they ever publicly admitted. That lawsuit is still working its way through the courts as we speak, and depending on how it plays out, it could force Toyota to expand the recall even further and replace a lot more engines than they are planning to. The fix that Toyota actually needs is not some impossible engineering challenge. The old Tundra ran a naturally aspirated V8 for over a decade with practically zero engine failure complaints. Hundreds of thousands of those trucks are still grinding it out on American roads today, with well over 200,000 miles on the clock and not a single engine swap. Those old V8s were not exciting. They were not fuel efficient. They were not going to win any awards for engineering innovation, but they did not blow up. And that used to mean something at Toyota. That used to be the whole point. Toyota killed that engine to chase fuel economy targets and replaced it with the twin-turbo six-cylinder that has now been recalled 3 separate times in 2 years. And the irony is that Toyota already has a twin-turbo V8 sitting in the new Lexus LC supercar. Strip the turbos off that motor, detune it for truck duty, and you would have a reliable, full-size truck engine tomorrow. Whether Toyota goes that route, redesigns the current 6-cylinder from the ground up, or simply figures out a way to build the thing without leaving metal shavings rattling around inside brand new motors, something has to change. Because right now, the brand that American truck buyers trusted more than any other is asking you to pay record prices for a truck that might not make it to its second oil change. And people are starting to notice. Toyota reports their next quarterly earnings in a few weeks, and the Vermont class action is heading into its next major court date. Subscribe so you get the full breakdown before the dealerships have time to spin it.